What is up and welcome back, guys. Today we're going to be prepping for our second autocross this time. So as you guys know, I did a 2-day video with the prep for the autocross last time because it was my first time and I wanted to run you guys through everything I had to do. This time we won't be doing so much. There's a couple things I want to run through for some new camera angles and some interesting camera angles. I want to run through that. We also have this tech sheet, what we did last time. We're not going to do that in detail as we did last time just because I went through that and I checked everything on camera. You guys don't need to see that for a second time. If you guys are curious about what's on that form, the video is on one of these sides. I don't know, I can never remember. So we're gonna skip that. We're gonna do some of the other stuff and we're also gonna do the improvements or the things I forgot about last time. So let's get into the first thing, camera angles. For the last one we had a single GoPro mounted on the lamp that's in the center of the car and it kind of gave a weird angle. And GoPros, well, they are really nice. They're more for the places where you don't want to put your camera. So stuff that the exterior of the car or whatever is usually where you put them. And because of that, they don't have the best dynamic range. So the stuff where you could see my dash and see outside was a little difficult. So what we're going to do now is we're actually going to just not use a GoPro inside. We're going to be using this camera right here. And that's because I have an actual rig now. So this one replaced my old one that I lost on a snowmobile, I think. I'm not sure where it went. So this is going to replace that and it's going to let me, it allows up to 5 kilograms. So it allows me to put on this camera on the interior, which is super cool. But we're still going to be using a GoPro, but the GoPro is going to be a little bit different. So essentially I want to take my GoPro and put it right here. So that's going to be a little bit interesting just because I don't have any place to put the suction mount. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to take one of these. So if you guys use GoPros a lot, you know that these are just like stick-on things. What we're gonna do is we're gonna stick it on right there. And actually it's not that noticeable, so it won't be really in the pictures. And then I have the blackout casing for the GoPro, so it'll just be literally right there, which is kind of cool. And it should get a really good angle of me hitting cones if I'm hitting cones and going around the track. So we will first clean this up. I think I'm going to just use a little bit of Scotch-Brite and wipe that down, and then we're going to put this on and see what it looks like. I have the 2 mounts. I have the one that puts it up higher and the one lower, and we'll see how those look. And there we go. So we have the GoPro mounted on the bumper, and it actually is pretty stealthily mounted because the way it's just stuck up on this bumper piece with some of that 3M, and then it's on there pretty good. So I'm just going to take some zip ties now and or some string and just make sure that if this does somehow magically fall off, that it'll be attached to something back there, like that little support bar. And then we'll move on to the camera inside the car. There we go. So we have a little string attached to here, and that's attached to a zip line. So even if it falls off, it can actually hit the ground, which is probably a good thing. Now on to the second camera. So now we got our suction cup mount. As you see, this is built for like big cameras, like full frame cameras. So this won't have an issue holding this camera. But what we want to do is we want to take it and put it up here essentially. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe off this surface and then wipe off where you can obviously see that my old one was. Also see a little bit of tint peeling, so that might be an issue later, but then we're going to stick it on there and see what it is. I'm not going to use the lens I'm using right now because this is my really good lens and my big lens. That will be with the person taking video and camera. So that lens will be somewhere else, so I'll use my stock lens, which will definitely still give us a really cool view of the whole workings of the car and me driving. Also, much better dynamic range, so you guys can actually see the road ahead of me and what I'm doing. Change of plan. So because this system is modular, I can actually take off this third suction cup, and then this is what I originally had, is I just used this guy. Well, now I have 2 here, so I'm gonna mount the main camera on here, and like, look at this, guys. It's not moving, so that'll still be a great mounting point. It gives me more adjustability with angle and stuff, so we'll keep that. And then I will use this. I don't know, if I want to have a third GoPro mount, I can mount it on the side window or something to kind of get an angled view. We'll see about that. I might just keep this one and not use it for this time because maybe you guys will give me some good suggestions on camera angles for the last practice round of this season or next season. Now with the camera mounting out of the way, I can see the GoPro still there, so we should be good. I'm gonna go through the tech list. As I said, I'm not gonna record that. I'm just gonna go through, and then I'll catch you guys once we finish that tech list, and we're kind of doing some of the improvements, or I guess packing. So this is gonna be a pretty short video just because we've done this before, and I just wanted to do a couple of little things that I thought I might as well update you guys on. The tech form is complete for the car. I went through everything. Now I got everything loaded that we need. So extra fluids, somewhere to sit, a toolbox. This time we got a water sprayer. I'll talk more about that in a second. And then my driving shoes. And then it's the fun part. We get to go ahead and throw the tape on my window. So as I said last time, we're going to be putting it on the rear window because that works, provides good contrast, and the marshals can see it. My number this time is because now I'm not a first time, is I am now 552 instead of 662. So now we are 7. Yeah, 7. I started with 772. Now I'm at 552 or 522. Sorry. So now we get to put that on both the windows, and then we're almost done. I also went ahead, filled up our water spraying tank because, well, we need that. So that guy down there, and then I'm gonna remember to take out this wheel this time. There we go, we got our number on, and then if we go over to the other side, we have our number on over here too. Oh, I need to press that down. Anyways, so that is going to be really it for the prep portion of this. Next we're going to talk about a couple of things that I've done to hopefully improve, not my time, maybe improve my time, we'll see about that. So one of the first things I actually mentioned was, actually I mentioned both of them about 30 seconds ago, was the fact that we now have a water sprayer. So this guy, so this is for spraying the tires after every run. And some of you might be questioning, what is that for? Because, well, if you watch like Formula 1 or whatever, you usually want hot tires to stay grippy. Well, the issue is we have our compounds too. And these ARC compounds get really, really hot when we're racing, and if they get too hot, they actually lose traction. So what I do is I have a little thermometer, like a little laser thermometer, so I can check my tire temperature on the contact patch, and then what I'll do is if it's too hot, I'll spray it. And that actually happened last time. So with last time, we could take a look at the tires themselves. It's kind of hard to see. You can kind of see like this rough pattern in here, like right here. It's kind of hard to get it in focus. Maybe if we zoom in a bit, we can see it better. Yeah, you see this kind of like rough pattern? That's because it was getting too hot, so it was like not delaminating, but it was getting a little rough. So we're gonna try to prevent that so we have a little more traction. But as I said, I do have to monitor tire pressure when doing that, and well, monitor tire pressure too, but I do have to monitor the tire temperature so that we maintain the optimal temperature. And talking on the side of temperature pressure, I do know how much we want to run. I believe it was 42 pounds, I'd have to check again, and that's done. I'll show you actually on the track in the next video, is you put a little bit of chalk on your sidewall, and you can actually see where it's hitting the contact patch, and then from that you can see if you need to up your pressure or down your pressure. Also, depending on each run, you can check if you have enough pressure in the tires. And you're going to want to check your tire pressure, especially after that first run, because they're going to increase a little bit. So you just usually let a little bit of air out, and then you check them after each run, because you do have that little cool down area or cool down time on grid, which again I'll be showing you next time. So I gotta add this stuff in the car. I've got my helmet. If you guys haven't seen that, go watch the other video. I ran through why I bought it and how it fits in the car, because that's a big thing with cars. You want to make sure you have enough headroom with a helmet. So I gotta drop this in all on the car. That's about it. I checked all the fluids too, behind the scenes. Kind of just common thing. Honestly, I check my fluids every time I drive this car anymore because it's burning a little bit of oil. If you guys seen in one of my older posts, you could tell I was burning oil just by how much smoke was coming out. But it seems to only do it at idle, so hopefully it doesn't do it while I'm sitting on grid and letting it cool down. I have a pretty good pattern, but as I said, I check all the fluids pretty much every run, because the oil, or not every run, but every time I drive the car, just because the oil does burn quite a bit. quite a bit. For most common cars, for Subarus, it's pretty classic. And then I got the normal tool box with tool kits and some pliers, some tape and all that fun stuff. Got some additional fluids and got somewhere to sit. Just gotta not forget you guys and my lunch. There's one more thing I want to talk about, and it's for when we get to the track, because I forgot about it last time, and one of my subscribers pointed this out to me on Instagram, I think, is you can remove all this back here. So this rug, this, and my spare that actually is kind of useless because it's not even the same size as the tire anymore. So remove that, and then you got a little less weight, and you can go a little faster. So I was thinking about removing my back seats, as I did it when I first owned the car, and one of you guys pointed out I maybe should. And one of you guys actually mentioned that I should pull those seats, or the rear seats, but actually they kind of act as a little bit of noise dampening, and if I do pull them, it puts me in like one of the crazy classes when I actually do end up racing, so I thought it might as well be get used to it with the seats in, and then less things will change when I get to the racing. Speaking of racing, that is going to be it for today's video. So if you guys want to check out the racing portion of this, or of next video, be sure to subscribe and let me know what you guys think I'm going to do. I guess the track's different. So last time my times were about 65, 70 seconds, but the track's different, so I was going to say try to guess my times, but they're going to be completely different. So I guess you guys just have to wait and see on next video, but that's it. So peace out and stay humble.